Alright, what up world? Hemingway checking in, and I am back with another reaction video. Before we get into it, y'all know the drill. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page. Make sure you ring the notification bell, that way you get all the notifications for all my videos I have coming forward this week. And today, got the homie Currensy. He did a sit down with Say Cheese, and in this particular video, I just want to discuss this section where, in this particular interview, I want to discuss this section where they talk about like Currensy writing and just his opinion on writing versus not writing, the whole, coming up with it in your head thing and stuff like that. So we're gonna get into it.
So yeah, that's like the best. That was the best tape,
Yeah. Do you still write?
Do I still write?
Yeah.
I only write.
Okay. So you don't go in and just freestyle, punch in?
Nah, I write it right on the spot. I write it here. Some people have deemed that a freestyle because they're like, no, you made it right then on the spot. You're not writing at home, but nah, I like writing in here. It don't take but like 10, 15 minutes, so I just do it in here.
Now, my personal opinion, because first and foremost, music and rap in particular is the wild west. There's general rules for the most part, but then it's just a bunch of stuff that like you really can, the definitions it's vague. So with a freestyle, most people know and think of a freestyle as being something that you come up with off the top of your head, like I'm in here and camera, microphone, ring light, speaker, like that wasn't really rhyming, but that's a freestyle. Like I'm just rapping about things in the room. That essentially is bare bones definition of a freestyle. As we got into rap music and entertainment, and especially once you got past the late 80s and 90s and once you got past that range from the basically the beginning of hip hop to the mid 2000s, early 2000s, not even mid, the early 2000s, you had some real freestylers who would like actually freestyle and come up with shit off the top of the head and really be good, and you might not be able to tell. By the time we got, early 2000s to mid 2000s and to now, that's become a lost art. So a lot of people aren't really freestyling. And then then we've gotten to the culture of these one-shot music videos that are considered freestyle, but it's like, it's not really a freestyle in the sense of like making it up off the top of your head, flowing, one run, just knocking it out, killing it. That's not, a lot of people is not doing that. I feel like, now I don't knock it, because at the end of the day, if you're just coming up with it if you're coming up with it on the spot, I feel like at the end of the day, it's a song. It's just what it is, it's a song. Whether you are writing it on the spot or whether you are a punch-in artist that's just kind of like doing your takes, running it back, doing it again, I feel like that's just essentially a song. Those are different techniques to write a rap song. I feel like still to this day, a freestyle is essentially just a freestyle off the top of the head. Now, writtens have been also mistaken as freestyles, and there's a whole era about writtens being like, thinking it was one thing when it really wasn't. But that's just my opinion. I done ran it long enough for this. I want to finish seeing what Currensy was talking about.
I don't write at home because of that. Like I'm so happy, like God bless me to where I don't have to like look in the sky and think of raps and go outside and do all that kind of shit, and it just happened because I'm just rapping about what I'm doing.
That is the next part about why a lot of people can't freestyle, can't write good songs, is because it's completely fabricated. Ain't no authenticity to it, because it's not really what the fuck you living or you going through. That, in my opinion.
And if I had to tell you Scarface's story in my rap, then it would take me an hour to write that verse, because
nah. Shout out to the ads.
I'm lying. Yeah.
Because most of these young cats, they hear Lil Wayne didn't write, Jay-Z didn't write, and they think that they don't have to write. They think it's too. They think.
Yeah. Well, God blesses everybody differently. Like they didn't have to write, and they made those great verses, but that was their blessing. Like you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's motherfuckers who can write who can't write good. Just because you're writing and that don't mean it's gonna be good. So you can't just do shit just because, like, you know what I'm saying? LeBron James can probably dunk from the free throw line. So all right, tomorrow morning, let's all suit up and go do it. That don't work.
No.
It's all about finding like what your blessing was, what's set up for you. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, we're approaching 420.
Alright, so I might get into that next question later, but also with that being said, like the whole Biggie J, Lil Wayne method of writing, people don't understand it. Like, from what to my understanding and what I've heard, with Jay and Big is similar in the sense of they like listen to the beat, they write it in their head, they basically cultivate a whole song before they go on the booth and record it. Once they record, they might make some adjustments, but essentially the song or the reference is already in their head, and they get on the mic and they can lay out a whole song. I understand that because you're just creating the words in your head. You're not putting it on a pen. You're not using a pen to put it on a pad. It's more so just repetitive and the rhythm of the words that you're saying to remember it. I understand that because as an artist, if you record a song and then you listen back to it, but you don't like how you deliver it, then you re-record it, you're almost always 1,000 times. You're almost always gonna sound 1,000% better because the way in which you delivered it, you can attack that now because you already memorized the words. But everybody can't memorize shit that easy. I feel like with them two, that was what's always been said about them and their method. Lil Wayne in particular, I think there was an early phase where he might have been trying to do that. But for the most part, he's a punch-in artist. Wayne is gonna go in there with no pen or no pad or not on the phone or none of that. But him and the engineer are gonna go bar for bar, line for line. He might catch a stride and get a couple lines off, a couple bars off, but he's gonna punch in and he's gonna go back to back and then he's gonna listen to it and make his edits. It's essentially still songwriting. Just like the person who's gonna come in like Currensy and either write it down with a pen and a pad, pencil and pad, or actually in their phone. It's all still different forms of songwriting. Freestyles are literally, like, if we're going by definition, I don't even know where my phone at. I need to look up the actual definition of a freestyle. Let me see if I can get this. My camera about to die. Freestyle. All right, so in reference to, outside of music, in reference to sport, like swimming or something. So freestyle as a noun is a contest in which there are few restrictions, in particular a swimming race in which competitors may use any stroke. Pause. So with that, it's like, okay, that makes sense, right? Basically a freestyle is no restrictions. There's no aim, no goal, no title, you know what I'm saying? It's just flowing and just kind of doing whatever you do. Basically within rap, the only thing there is that you're going to rap. As long as you're rapping, that's the only main rule to it. You just come up with everything else off the top of your head. Most people not freestyling, dog. Everybody don't freestyle. It's not. I don't do it that too much. I mean, when I'm by myself, yeah, but like a lot of people not freestyling, especially not in public, especially not on these tracks. So let's not get that confused, man. But I think that people not actually using one of those other methods to write songs is a reason why we've had a decline in sales. And I do think that, I'll say this, there are some people that are freestyle. And they ain't listen back to that shit at all. They just saying what the first thing come to their head, they laying it down, they putting it out. And I think those are the artists that are fucking it up. They are fucking up the game, cause it's like, man, that shit is trash. But what y'all think, man? What y'all think? How y'all feel about these artists with freestyles versus writing, you know, in any of those formats? Do y'all think artists need to write more, put more consideration into the songs? How y'all feel about it? Make sure y'all get down in the comments below. Let me know how y'all feel. Until next time, I'll go by the name of Hemingway. I'm out of here.